Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where performance of Veltima fungicide can take your best result even farther. I am Allison Kinney. Looking into the headlines today, farmers and ranchers recently received some good news when it comes to the Sustainable Fuels Tax Credit. Samantha Ayub, an economist with the American Farm Bureau Federation, offers a quick refresher on the credit, known commonly as 45Z.
45Z is also known as the Clean Fuel Production Credit. It was created in 2022's Inflation Reduction Act to consolidate some of the tax credits for individual biofuels like biodiesel and sustainable aviation fuel.
The recent budget reconciliation package called the One Big Beautiful Bill made important changes to the credit that will benefit U.S. growers.
For one, anything that is used as a feedstock for 45Z fuels receiving the credit has to be made from feedstocks produced in the US, Mexico, or Canada. And then it also cannot be applied to companies who are either foreign owned or in 2 years foreign controlled. So adding to American biofuels capacity. It also takes out indirect land use changes through the emission scoring that is used to determine what fuels qualify for what level of 45Z tax credit.
The goal is to increase biofuel capacity in the U.S., but also generate more demand for American agricultural products.
Manure digesters from livestock can all be used as feedstocks. And so especially when we're seeing years like this with record bumper crop years, the hope is that we determine more demand for American products to hopefully support these large crops that we continue to see.
Learn more on the Market Intel page on the Farm Bureau website.
Be aware, ticks are there. As you head outdoors, remember to avoid tall grass, wear light-colored full-coverage clothing, and use EPA-registered repellent. Be sure to thoroughly check for ticks after you head in for the day. If you find any ticks, remove them carefully with tweezers and watch for symptoms such as fever, headache, or rash. For more information on ticks and tick bite prevention, head over to ohio.gov/ticks.
In the latest trade developments, China has reportedly ended the tariff exclusion on American agricultural products. Importers in China have reported to the Foreign Agricultural Service that applications for market-based tariff exclusions will no longer be accepted beginning on August 1. Some of the products include grains, tree nuts, alcohol, leather, and fruits. Importers said the previously approved exclusions will only be valid until September 14th. The affected products were previously eligible for tariff exclusions under a process established in March of 2020 by the State Council Tariff Commission of China. The process allowed importers to apply for waivers from the retaliatory Section 301 tariffs on certain U.S. products. Although the process did allow some items outside the predefined list, it covered a total of 696 tariff lines, of which approximately 150 lines apply to U.S. agricultural products.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. We'll see you there.
Also in the headlines, the U.S. Ag Secretary and Canada Ag Minister haven't spoken despite the ongoing trade negotiations. The United States and Canada are working to come together on a trade agreement, and negotiations are continuing. One thing that may come as a surprise is that the U.S. and Canada's top agriculture officials haven't spoken yet. Heath MacDonald, Canada's Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, says he hasn't spoken with U.S. Ag Secretary Brooke Rawlings.
No, I haven't. And it's something that we need to do, but we need the right time too. I mean, there's a lot going on. We had the G7, we wanted to wait, and then we received the letter on the 35%. So it's timing and it needs to be addressed, obviously, but I think we need to be very strategic when we do this.
He said it's important for Canadian ag officials to be on the same page when they finally sit down to talk.
It's a very fragile time in the trade, so I don't want to disrupt any more than anyone else, but I want to make sure that I have all my ideas and strategies settled before I make that attempt.
Again, Heath McDonald is Canadian's Minister of Agriculture. Now let's look into your closing markets. This market report is brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Learn more online at seedconsultants.com. September corn down 2 1/4 at $3.99.5. December corn down 1 3/4 at $4.19. March corn down 1 3/4 as well at $4.36.5. August soybeans down 5 1/2 at $9.98 3/4. November soybeans down 3 1/4 at $10.21. September wheat down 3 1/4 at $5.38 1/4. December wheat down 3 even at $5.58 1/4. August live cattle up 67 cents at $226.47. October live cattle up $1 at $223.15. August lean hogs up 50 cents at $108.70, and September feeder cattle up $2.55 at $332.20. This is the Ohio AgNet.